So throughout that time, I was still actually working though. I was working from home due to COVID. My boys was there, and I was homeschooling them and working from home. Um, and I just remember after a while of working from home, I actually got promoted to a different position, and with that different position, sometimes I would have to go into the office like twice, maybe 3 times a week. And while going into the office, he would stay there with my boys and keep an eye on them for me. And so I remember while at work, sometimes I remember there was this other person that eventually got promoted, and she started working with me as well. We worked the same shift. We would go in the office on the same days. And this is the person that I know he had pretend to be me to help collect the funds for the ticket. I remember we would just be at work, and she would just do little stuff make it seem like I was kind of following her, but we were supposed to be friends or whatever. But I remember whenever I would get home, I didn't realize that they knew each other. I didn't know they was even talking to each other. I didn't know they communicated with each other or anything like that until like certain stuff that would happen at work. I would get home and he would basically know what happened, or he would be like, why you always following such and such your work, or you go to break when they go to break, or you go to lunch when they go to lunch. And I'm like, I don't. Whenever I would go to lunch or whenever I would go to break, she would follow me, but she was making it seem to him like I was being the follower or whatever. And then I just I believe that she actually got other people that we worked with to actually side with her and make him think that things at work were not as they seemed. She had him thinking that I was cheating on him with another coworker. And I remember one time I was leaving work, and the dude that she had him thinking I was cheating with, it was he was waiting for me to leave the building. And whenever I left, he went out the door before me whenever I was leaving. And I was walking out of the building, and he I don't know, I guess he waved at me, but he was waving at me and I don't know why he was waving at me, because I don't even really communicate with him. I just mainly I talked to her and I communicated with people at work, but I wasn't just completely all the way cool. We didn't talk outside of work. The only person I really communicated with outside of work was mainly her. And so I remember one time whenever I was leaving, she had her phone and she was upstairs still, and I was waiting for my Lyft ride because I didn't have my car wasn't working at the time. I was waiting for Lyft to pick me up. And whenever I was leaving, and the dude that we worked with, he was also, in the same position as us. He worked as a lead. He was leaving before me, and I looked up and I seen her standing by the window, and she had her phone in her hand, and I waved at her. And he kind of waved at me, and I thought that was weird, but I really just didn't think nothing of it. And I think she sent that video to my ex, making it seem like I was cheating, and that's who I was cheating with, but I wasn't. I didn't even like him. It was just little stuff like that. I remember sometimes I would be at work, and there was this other girl that we worked with as well. I would notice she would say certain things, and then she'll be they could be bought. That was her favorite thing to say, was they could be bought. And I guess they was already getting the money, and they wasn't telling me. And so I was the only one in the dark. They was paying people at my job to not tell me about the lottery winnings and them getting the money. I remember one day I got a ride from someone that I worked with. I'm trying not to use names. I'll just say T. And on the way of her dropping me off at home, she had said something like, she was telling me about how she got a loan. And she had said something about, I loaned her the money. I'm like, I loaned you the money? How am I loan you something I don't have? Like, I just thought it was weird that she said that. And she just kind of like switched the subject. But she was saying basically that the money that she got loaned, she used it with her boyfriend to buy a truck so he can have like a dispatch, like a side hustle where he was delivering different things with the vehicle, with the truck. And she was like, she was going to be his dispatcher, but she wanted to wait until things picked up before she actually quit her job or quit where we was working at together. And so it was just like little things that happened that kind of like let me know something was up. And throughout this time, I'm just like, I was still like just listening to different things at work, listening to things that he would say. Sometimes I would hear him on the phone and I would be listening to like little stuff that just kind of seemed out of order and weird, but I didn't want to speak on it because I don't know, he used to say act lame and peep game. Basically, that's what I was doing. I was just acting lame and peeping game. And then, like, every time I would think, like, Lord, I'm done. Like, I would pray about it and I would think, I'm done. Like, I'm finna just, leave him alone. I'm finna just, like, basically distance myself from him. I would hear, God would just be telling me, not yet. Like, it wasn't the time. It wasn't the time yet. And so I just kept, like, waiting it out, letting things play out. And I guess I don't know. And so now I'm in this situation and I want justice for me and my kids. I want what was stolen from us. And I posted this on my Instagram, and someone was just like, I should file a police report. And the main reason why I didn't file a police report yet is because he was telling me basically that he had family that, were police officers and stuff like that. And that just kind of made me a little paranoid. I know I probably shouldn't have let him like scare me out of doing that, and I will. I just haven't done it yet because I want us to be stable. I want us to find a place to stay. I'm trying to get on my feet and get everything in order and just take care of my kids. And it's actually still more like, it's a lot of things that took place. I'm all over the place telling this story, but there's a lot of things that took place, a lot of things that happened. Like I remember one time he asked me if two siblings from two separate families could be together, like if two sisters and were to date two other brothers from a different family, like how would that work? And I was like, if the oldest is not with the oldest and the youngest is with the youngest, then it's not gonna work. And he was just like, why you say that? And I was just like, I don't, like, that's just the first thing that came to my head. But that just let me know that I listened to the question and I answered him, but that just let me know that the girl that I work with, she was talking to him and his brother was talking to her sister. And so the girl that I was cool with, she's the oldest. And out of him and his brothers, he's younger than his brother. And then the girl that I work with, her sister, who also used to work there, she was actually my supervisor at one point before I got promoted and before she quit. She was talking to his older brother, but she was the younger sister out of the two. And so it was just like, I was just listening to some of the stuff that he was saying. Like, he would think I wasn't paying attention or wasn't really like observing some of the things that he was doing. And I was just trying to let things play out, hoping he would just do the right thing, give me and my kids my portion. That's not what happened.